Good morning. You're in the back room with Becky. It is the day before the show, and I'm about to go into rehearsal, so all the cuteness in the world is not even, it don't even make sense. Review of the Basketball Wives. It's so relevant now that I'm having some of these experiences because, first of all, a little background info. I graduated from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff to Southern Arkansas University. A member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. A member of the Society of Collegiate Journalists. Was a journalism in good standing for many years. I've been a teacher. I've worked in public relations. I have done court advocacy work. I have handled pro bono cases of other people as an advocate. I have continued to serve my community even when I was rehabilitating from devastating illness and injury. So first of all, let me just say, I want to speak straight from the heart. And if it makes you feel bad, then maybe you need to talk to God about it. Because anybody and everybody in this process, we as women, this is a revolution. And I always post up to my page that at some point in time you have to choose sides, and there are some countries that never choose a side. They choose to remain neutral, the little saying we say my name is Tess and I ain't in that mess. So my position has always been that I will work with what the universe gives me, and when it starts looking like it's shady or it's not what I thought it was, I'm going to seek some wiser counsel to me. Because see, I fly off of my heart. Because this is my love. This is my dream. I've had a long and illustrious career. You can see episodes of me I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. I had my own television show. That whole thing about the notoriety. Several states I go into, I get the notoriety. Not even about that. Plenty of people know who I am. So it's not even about that. As I watched the Basketball Wives, I became acutely aware of this underlying prevalent attitude amongst us women that have arrived, or those women who feel that they have arrived and therefore they have the right to look down their nose at somebody. Now, I was the first one talking about Keisha and Kenya because I thought, I'm going to go straight stereotypical and ghetto right now. The pretty light-skinned girl and the girl with a dream, who maybe she ain't as pretty as the rest of them, but she makes up in heart what she may lack in presentation. Presentation can be taught to you. You don't have to be able to sing. You have to be able to pull out the look and have the heart to get up there on that stage. Having said that, when the remark was made that if it was going to be less than perfection and, like implying that the girl's standards was not up to par. Now, once she saw other people getting on board with her, you still showing up for the meetings. If you think it's so unprofessional, why are you there? So, again, we look at Basketball Wives, we look at Atlanta Housewives, and these, I keep saying to you all, are social experiments. And the proven fact is that you put women together, it's going to be a hot mess before long. Especially if you put big personalities together. Somebody's going to feel challenged. Somebody's going to feel used. Somebody's going to feel like they are the shit and that they should have top billing. And I will say this. I put on events all the time, and you will not see presented by Becky Shepherd or da-da-da, Becky Shepherd. You will see me represent my groups. Everything and anything I do right now, I'm like Tammy, If I see you getting shady with me, I'm going to cut you off at the pass. We go in the court or whatever. You said, baby, I haven't been to court. I've been going to court for years and winning. Not to sound like Charlie Sheen. So, the Basketball Wives got kind of touchy because the girls, she was still put upon. Because, like you talking about my YouTube channel. And she said, I'm not like somebody that already has a record deal. My video is not going to be Hollywood, And I'm not even trying, like I said the other day, I said on some of our expectations, if we would just bring them down just a little bit, then we'll always be surprised when it goes beyond our expectation. So for me, I'm like, expect everything to go wrong and be prepared for everything to go right. I don't get, I'm upset about some things, but my goal and my objective is still the same. I am still duty bound to bring some measure of awareness and inclusion to full-figure women in the Kansas City, Missouri area. At any part that I have played, I have promoted many, many people's events, careers, from models to authors, and you know who you are. And there have been times when I've asked for just advice, because I don't expect anything. I just say, I'm promoting you because I believe in your dream. When that girl stood up there and made that speech, and they got mad about it, I was kind of upset with Shawnee too, because I said, oh yeah, she probably could have. But at that point, she felt like she was already attacked my talent, whether you feel that I have any or not. You participated with me to a point, and then you made a lot of little side comments, but we supposed to be girls. Those are things that you can say to me when we're sitting up drinking coffee or drinking that martini. And that was where I felt a correlation to something I'm going through right now. And I very seldom come on here and get personal. And I'm not going to do it now. I didn't do it when my girl showdown and we got the club shut down. I didn't do it then. I ain't going to do it now. But I say that in all thy getting, get an understanding. So when you have beginning, like I tell people, I say, I've done a lot of other careers. This is new. The entertainment industry is new for me. But I'm not without a lawyer to the side either. And I'm not without knowledge and information. How they treated that girl, I felt was shameful on Shawnee's part too. When she said that was kind of messy. Yeah, I wouldn't have. Well, maybe I wouldn't have pointed out my girlfriend at the top of the meeting. But I certainly would not have neglected to let her know that, okay, well, here we are at a casting call for these dancers, and they have showed up. And you just said, yes, you did just say that you pretty much did not believe in the dream. You was going to back up, and you thought it was going to be tacky, and it wasn't going to be the kind of thing that you wanted to be affiliated with. And so when we do that, that is judgment. You're in the judgment seat. I have girlfriends who are nude models. I have girlfriends who are in porn. I have girlfriends who are legitimate models, actors, screen, and TV. And I've never heard them say to me that because I was doing something different in entertainment that was less, better than, worse than, nothing but support. So when we are in a situation where people's eyes are on us, sometimes it forces us to make decisions that we otherwise would not have made. That girl was hurt. If the camera wasn't on her at the time, and she would have never probably went there. Just like when Tammi has shown the other side of herself. Now, what people don't know is that she's a very accomplished, production person. She's been used in fashion. She was the first African-American reality star person, if you really want to be real about it, because she did the real world. Now, I know that she ain't resting on the laurel. She's not. So, whatever we have done in the past or whatever we are doing, they sometimes meet up at that junction, at the crossroads called, here is the point of decision, where you decide if you're going to be doing business like everybody else, or as women, as business people, can we have some heart? Can we show compassion? Because a lot of times, I found when I let you see me raw. I let you see me in pain. I let you see when I'm upset about something. And the people that are really here for the right reasons have come to me and said, okay, Miss B, I don't even want to just focus, have a good show this week, and we'll talk about that later. It's amazing to see that now this girl, probably just because she is a little odd, and most talented people are, talent depends on what you're measuring, really, to me. Because, I look at modeling, and I admire the women that are breaking down doors and building bridges, but it's not something that I aspire to for myself. if I was going to be anything, I would want to be a producer or a coordinator. I don't want to be a model. But I have ladies that are in close proximity to me that do, that will, and that have. And so that endeavor, when you go in to do something that's really not your expertise, you try to surround yourself with people that you feel may have some knowledge. And then when you're dealing with what my biggest contingency for basketball wise was this. Everybody that saw the show last night was like, did you see that? Because they're, okay, you didn't want to do this thing with the girl. You were saying you were going to step back. If you was in a friendship point of view, then you should have been sitting not at the panel with the people that were going to judge the dancers. But evidently she still thought, you know, I think that Keisha still thought that you guys were okay. And that's what's kind of harmful to me. It's just like when Kandi was trying to explain herself on the Real Housewives, and Sheree kept cutting her off. It said, sometimes it's time to stop talking. Took me a long time to learn that. And sometimes it's time to stop talking. And so, with that said, we always want to have the best of rapport with our sisters. You know, the fact that I do Big Goody Girl Burlesque has nothing to do with my other interests, and everybody that knows me is pretty clear on that. I have found that my heartstrings need to be adjusted, because as this thing starts picking up steam, you know, I'm not going to be able to be the all-around advocate that I was when I was doing government contractor work. You know, I'm just not. And, you know, we can do a lot of things mediocre, or we can do a couple of things extraordinary. None of us can do everything. You in the back with Becky. It's a terrific Tuesday. You know, I say, I was a Tuesday child. I was born on Tuesday. They said, Tuesday child is full of grace. Well, my eyes, that's 2 days of crying and allergic reactions. You know, and I've been really emotional. And then the doctors told me, they said, well, you know, when you have to take those epi shots like you just did, you know, and your breathing and stuff is challenging, you still got to get up and do everything and take care of your family. There's some anxiety is going to be present. And I was like, no, I think that I'm sensitive. Because like my girl Erykah Badu said, I'm an artist, I'm sensitive about my shit. If I'm not doing something well, 9 times out of 10, I'd only do it one time. And if it didn't work out, I'm not going to be embarrassed. I've had 4 businesses in my lifetime. You think? Well, okay. That's all I'm saying. And Donald Trump even said, I had 15 failures before I had 1 success. If you're afraid to fail, you never can succeed. Because every effort that you make, that's been because, you know what? You have to do what you have to do. That goes for everybody. And, you know, sometimes you just can't really be compassionate. You just have to take care of business. You're in the back with Becky. Been creating my own wealth since I was a very young woman. And I will continue to do so and try to bring some people along with me on my journey. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get this hair done for the show tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night. The show is designed by me this week with the assistance of Latrice Hawkins, Coco, Queen of Naughty. Well, you don't never know what she's going to pull out there. So you want to see a good show. You want to have a nice time. A grown folks environment. Good time had by all. The place to be, Baby Boys KC in Grandview, Missouri. Wednesday night, March the 7th, 9:30 p.m. It's showtime, baby. Peace, love, and always just understand it. Why do I do this? For the people.